Hey everyone, it's Jackie here from Lambton's Skin Clinic. I thought I'm going to drop you a bit of a video this morning before I start my day at the clinic. Got quite a few patients booked today. I wanted to talk to you today about ingredients, key ingredients that you should be looking for when you purchase products. I really feel like we are bombarded by hundreds of products on the TV, on the print media that promise to do things, and when you turn them over and you have a look at the ingredient list, they cannot provide the results that they are promising. I mean, there are products that say better results than laser in a week, wrinkles, improvement in wrinkles in just 10 days. And then I have clients that come here and sit down and I discuss with them what their problem is. So they will say they've got severe acne or they've got breakouts. And then I say to them, please bring all your products so we can have a look. We consult here. I will turn the boxes over and the bottles over, have a good look at the ingredient list, and absolutely nothing in the ingredient list is going to target acne. It will have a whole lot of moisturizers or a whole lot of filler products and absolutely no actives to target acne. Or another great one is blemishes and pigmentation. There are a huge multitude of products that promise fading your dark marks in a week, 2 weeks, and then I'll turn the product over and there are absolutely no pigment stabilizers or no lighteners or products that are actually going to target pigmentation in those products. It's a highly unregulated market. It's not like pharmaceuticals where it is regulated. You have to advertise your actives. You have to have you can't overpromise. In the normal beauty products and skincare products, you can overpromise and underdeliver every single time. So I want you guys to empower yourselves and not just fall for the media hype. So if you are wanting something to target sun damage, for instance, you need to be looking for products in the ingredient list that do target sun damage, which is vitamin C or a derivative thereof. So I'm going to go through the entire, what I would call the key ingredient list that you should be looking at the back of the box or the bottle. And hey, it's in the ingredient list, but whether it's high up or low up as well, you need to educate yourself as where you're spending your money, where you're putting your buck, and is it really going to do what it promises? And are you going to be disappointed in the product? So I'm going to go through a list of, I've sort of chosen key products that I think you should be looking for in all your products, especially depending on what problem you're trying to treat, or all-round products that I look for certain ingredients, and they must be high up on the ingredient list. So ingredients are listed from the highest quantity or the highest volume in that product right down to the lowest. So you have to remember the first 3 items listed in the ingredients list are going to be the majority of what's in that product. So chances are, I'll put my life on the line, it's going to be aqua. Aqua is going to be your first ingredient, and that's not a bad thing. Water makes up 70 to 80% of most products. Serums, moisturizers, even some exfoliators, aqua will be on the top. So that's not a particularly bad thing, but you've got to remember within the first 5 products, ingredients that are listed, those are your key ingredients. They're going to make up the bulk of the product. So if right at the end of the ingredient list, you have something like vitamin C listed, it's going to be a 1% or a 0.25%. It's really going to be minuscule. So I want to just empower you with a bit of knowledge so that when you buy products, you are buying bang for your buck. It's a big deal to me. I fume at the TV when I watch these adverts that also say that they contain matrixyl 75 RF. There is no such thing. They promise these ridiculous ingredients, and they are not tried and tested ingredients that should be included in skincare. So it's totally unregulated. I really want you to educate yourself. So just remember the first 5 ingredients are the key ingredients, but a lot of actives need to be only in a 1% formulation or a 2%. So that's not to say that they're not effective, but I really want you to look at these certain keywords in future. And so if you have a very dry skin, there are certain things you want to look for that are contained within a dry skin product, such as urea or hyaluronic acid or ceramides, for instance. Okay, so that is what I want to put across today, so that you make an educated purchase and are not just buying this realm of products that literally do very, very little to your skin. So that's my little intro. I'm going to now have little labels of each product that I'm going to go into in depth. And I'm going to say to you the derivatives thereof, so that you can see if they're listed in the back of a product. And you're never going to know all of the different preservatives and the different humectants or blenders that make a product from a water into a cream. Those are, I mean, you're never going to, you've got to look for keywords. So if there's something you're not sure of, there are a lot of good ingredient dictionaries online on Google. So you just pop in propylene glycol, Bob's your uncle, it's going to give you a little bit of information. So just really few highlights. I think it's about 10 ingredients I really want you to look out for in your product ingredient list. And then you'll at least know that you're really getting some good value for money and that the product is going to do what it's promised it's going to do. Albeit not in 10 days, not in 2 weeks, not in a month. That is not how it works. Ingredients or products are a slower approach than doing treatments in the skin clinic. Those should be your primary, and then secondary treatment should be what you do at home. Is like a nice maintenance routine, making sure you moisturize and you get a few actives in. Fantastic. But here we're going to start with a few ingredients, and I really hope that this adds a little bit of knowledge to you and that you can actually make informed decisions going forward. Okay, we are going to begin now. Right, hyaluronic acid, or HA. That is a great magnet for moisture. The more hyaluronic you have in your skin, or hyaluronic acid you have in your skin, it attracts water, binds water to your skin, so it aids in hydration. So if you are looking for something that's going to plump you and smooth out some wrinkles to a degree, but mainly a moisture magnet, then you are going to look for hyaluronic acid. So the other key with hyaluronic acid is not to put it on a dry skin. It's actually to put it on a wet skin, because it will then bind the water and pop it into the skin a little bit easier. So hyaluronic acid is a great moisture magnet. Think of it as putting it into the skin as far as you can topically. You can't go too deep. Unfortunately, you won't get the same penetration as what you do in microneedling with hyaluronic acid, because we use that as our binding, our sort of base formulation for needling. It's our gliding agent. But if you use a product with hyaluronic acid, you're going to get an improvement in moisture. Little bit of plumping, but mainly moisture. Not too much. It's a huge hype about hyaluronic acid. It's, to me, a little bit overhyped, but you're going to get some increased moisture levels, water levels within your skin. So again, dry skin products or people who are looking for an anti-aging product with some moisture content, hyaluronic acid. Right, that brings me to preservatives. Very important in skincare products is preservatives. We don't want a product that we use for a month and then suddenly it's no longer binding and it's separating, or it smells funny, or it has changed color. With a lot of the vitamin C products, we see that. So anything that you read in your ingredient list that sounds like glycol, parabens, sodium benzoate, or alcohol denat. Those are preservatives. They are to increase the shelf life of your product and make sure that bacteria doesn't breed in your product. So relatively important, but shouldn't be like specifically with the alcohol. If you have a very sensitive skin, if you see alcohol or alcohol denat and it's anywhere in the top 5, I would stay away and look for a product where it is listed further down in the ingredient list within probably the last 3. So alcohol and perfume or fragrance should be very low down, if not the last and second last listed ingredients, because those are irritants. So specifically for sensitive or very dry skin, just look that the alcohol content and that the fragrance is quite low down. But the other things are a necessary evil, unfortunately, because nobody wants a very runny moisturizer. We're all wanting that nice, thick, whipped consistency, and we're wanting something that lasts and has an expiry date on it that is at least 6 months and doesn't need to be used up within a week or need to be refrigerated. So those are a necessary evil. Glycol, parabens. There are a lot of parabens that aren't bad. They've had a bit of a bad rap lately. And not all parabens are dangerous or worrisome. So we need parabens to preserve our products. And yeah, just be aware that they have to be in there. But the very strong ingredients, like the different alcohols, need to be listed at the bottom of the ingredient list. Right, the next ingredient I want to cover is one of my favorites. I really do use it a lot in microneedling. I also look for it in a lot of my products. I have a serum that contains this. It's niacinamide. So niacinamide is an antioxidant firstly, and secondly, it calms inflammation. So it's an antioxidant that doesn't irritate the skin. It's very easily tolerated within the skin. So it can be used on firstly the darker skin tones. It can be used on your sensitive and your clients who have got slight barrier dysfunction. So I really do like niacinamide because it's an antioxidant, so it fights free radicals, but it doesn't irritate. A lot of the key ingredients that I'm going to get to, there are slight warnings to them that if you are very sensitive, to start slowly and build up. Luckily with niacinamide, you really don't need to do that. So I think at home I use, it's called The Ordinary. It's a 10% niacinamide serum, face serum. And I'll use that once a week, literally just to take the oxidants out of the skin, to treat the skin nicely. It's also very good for dark skins because it's a pigment suppressor. So another key nice ingredient is niacinamide. When you see it in the ingredient list and it's sort of in the middle of the ingredient list, it should be a nice product to buy. And like I say, calms inflammation. So it can be used on clients who have inflammation from acne, inflammation from pigmentation, because pigmentation is caused generally by inflammation of some kind, hyperpigmentation. So niacinamide, great product for either the pigmentation problems, acne problems, or just general anti-aging, because inflammation is our enemy. Inflammation equals aging. So great product to look for. I would say probably about 6th or 7th on the ingredient list. Look at it somewhere there. Even if the bottle gives you a percentage, even better, 10%, then you know 10% of that entire bottle is going to be niacinamide. Right, I want to discuss the next ingredient is ceramides. Now, these are one of my ultimate favorites, especially if you're finding your skin is a little bit irritated, flaky, dry. Ceramides are the ingredients you use to keep your skin supple and plump. So they are also fabulous because I see a lot of clients that are coming in and they have sudden outbreaks, or they're suddenly very sensitive in certain areas, like around the nose or the chin area. And what they've done is they've overused other actives, especially retinols. They've used too many acids, glycolic acids, whatever. So they've gone in a little bit like cowboys, and they've actually impaired their barrier function of the skin. The skin is actually there to protect you and to create a barrier between you and the rest of the world, the irritants out there. So what you do is when you overuse too many AHAs, acids, or BHAs, beta hydroxy acids, you then impair your barrier function. You break through that barrier function, which it's like a lipid bilayer, an oil layer. And by using these very active ingredients such as retinol or even vitamin C can be an irritant and can break through the skin barrier. And then you need to build up that barrier again. And that barrier is very important, because when that barrier is impaired, you do get things like breakouts, red patchy areas, rashes, flaking of the skin. So that barrier function is super important, keeps the moisture in the skin as well, and keeps the dirt and the grime out of the skin. So once you've lost that barrier function, then you've opened a can of worms. So ceramides, if you are looking for a product to really calm the skin down, build up that barrier function once again to a healthy skin, ceramides are amazing. Even post treatments like laser, dermapen, ceramides can be applied directly after. They literally calm the skin down. So I would recommend, if you have a impaired skin or you are very sensitive, red, itchy, flaky, go and look for a product that has ceramides listed. And they can be quite high up in the ingredient list. So yeah, any form of ceramides are going to help you build your barrier back again on your skin and maintain a healthy barrier. So that's a good one for your dry, sensitive skins. Okay, if you're looking again for bang for your buck in a product, I would suggest that you also look out for peptides. Peptides are a great ingredient in a lot of products, and they are ingredients that literally build up or increase your collagen and your elastin in your skin. So the bounce and the firmness and the volume in the skin, that will be definitely assisted by peptides. They're a great wrinkle fighter. So another key word to look out when you're looking through your ingredient list is any form of different peptides. And they are literally like a booster for the skin. So keep an eye out for peptides anywhere in your ingredient list, preferably higher up on the ingredient list. If it is going to be listed within the last 3, 4, 5 ingredients, it's going to be a minuscule amount of peptides. Still, if you look at a mix of products, if it is peptides and ceramides and a little bit of vitamin C, fabulous. But look at that ingredient list holistically, and yeah, peptides are a great one to remember. Very nice skin boosters. Right, we're on to my favorite ingredient, which is vitamin A. Vitamin A is a must for anyone from the age of 20 onwards. Should be looking for a derivative of vitamin A in a product if you are looking for something with bang for your buck again. So vitamin A comes in various forms, and they are named, and then they're in different strengths. And the lower strength ones are the less irritating derivatives of vitamin A, and that goes right up to your Oratane or Accutane, which is an oral form of vitamin A, which is taken for severe nodular acne or cystic acne. If we battle and we don't win in the therapist's bed, we then send our patients off, and we eventually get them on Oratane or Accutane, and that really helps with acne clearance. A lot of side effects, because Oratane or Accutane is a very high dose of vitamin A, can have indications for the liver and the other organs, and a lot of side effects, and a lot of sensitivity and flaking and dryness. But retinols or vitamin A's in other forms are an absolute must, whether you are suffering from acne or whether you are just wanting to slow down the aging process. Retinols, vitamin A's, amazing. So I look out for retinol in most of my products because it's relatively inexpensive and it's slightly less irritating than the other derivatives. And I like it high up in the ingredient list. My skin is very used to being stimulated. So I can really go in with a higher retinol. I think I have a 2% and I have a 5% retinol at home that I use. I just would like to exercise a bit of caution or let you guys know that when you start on a retinol or a vitamin A, rather to build up your tolerance in your skin and start once every third night and do that for about 2 weeks, and then you can build up to every second night. When your skin is like mine, where it's so used to being stimulated, then you can use it every night. I recommend retinols to be used at night, just to be on the safe side. Some sensitize the skin to the sun, some don't, but it's a very complicated issue, and to know which products do and don't, I just rather say let the magic happen while you're sleeping and save your day routine for a simple day cream and a sunscreen, and rather leave your active serums for a nighttime routine. So the different derivatives that you can look for in your ingredient list: retinol, then there's retinaldehyde, which is a very strong derivative. And I just want to give you the key points of what retinol does. It's a two-pronged approach to skincare. So firstly, from the age of 30, our cell turnover halves, and that gives us a slightly dull appearance to our epidermis. Our epidermis should be shedding every 30 days, 28 to 30 days, and we actually get a new epidermis. And now that we hit our 30s, that slows down to a drastic rate, and we now no longer have that fantastic cell turnover and new skin formation, and it seems to get a slightly thicker, poor textured skin. So with the use of retinols, that cell turnover is increased, and it's going to give you a glowier skin, a smoother skin, and a thinner epidermis. We want a thinner epidermis, which is the dead skin on the outside, and we want a very thick, plump, viable dermis underneath that. Everyone keeps saying to me, isn't it going to thin my skin? We want certain layers of our skin thinner and the good, alive areas thicker. So peels and retinol thins our epidermis. That is what we want it to do. It's doing what we want it to do. So yes, it does thin the skin, but it thins the skin we don't want to sit on the face forever. We want to shed it. We want a newer skin underneath. So that is the one approach. The massive benefit to using retinols is the increased collagen production. Proven, not just a thumb suck. It's proven in trials. If you use retinols, you do stimulate your own collagen production without using treatments. It's something you can do at home to aid me in your anti-aging. So using retinol at home, or retinol palmitate, retinaldehyde, retinol, those are really going to help you with improving your collagen in your skin. And your collagen is what gives your skin bounce. Clients that have lost collagen in their skin, they tend to be a more sunken appearance, not as plump, healthy. So please, guys, look for retinol of some kind or vitamin A of some kind in your ingredient list. It is the bomb. I try and make sure I use my retinol serum every second day. I use a retinol eye cream literally every night. I even use the remainder of the retinol on my hands. You'll see my hands. I don't have sunspots. My hands are in very good condition because whatever I put on my face goes onto the top of my hands and onto my neck as well. So That's my favorite ultimate product, retinols. But like I said, go slow, build up your tolerance to retinols. Don't go in like a cowboy and break down your barrier. And then we're in a mess and we need to start over. But look for something with a nice 1% retinol, 0.5, 0.1, and just use it every second or third night. Just see how you go. If you get excess flaking, slow down, alternate nights, or use it once a week to begin with. Build up your tolerance to retinols. Right, another very exciting ingredient that I love to talk about. If any of my clients come in and they've had acne issues or breakouts, they will know this keyword, this buzzword that I absolutely love. It is my core to all acne treatments. It is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is a derivative of the willow bark tree, very similar in makeup to aspirin. So it is an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory product or ingredient. It is fantastic for acne because it penetrates the pore. A lot of other ingredients literally sit on the top of the skin and they don't penetrate the pore. So you will get your benzoyl peroxides, all of those will just work from the outside. Whereas if you do a salicylic acid peel, or you have products like a cleanser that has a salicylic acid in, it is one of the few acids that can penetrate the pore. So I recommend that if you are an acne sufferer, you should have a cleanser with a gel cleanser, I want to just clarify, with salicylic acid listed and hopefully not as the last ingredient, somewhere in the middle. And if you are using a spot treatment, any little spot formations or those little plasters that I sell, they're based with salicylic acid as their ingredient. Acne sufferers, I don't normally recommend night creams and lotions because we're trying to regulate the oil production in the skin, and I kind of want to keep it simple, so I just keep with a cleanser and a spot treatment. So yeah, I can't tell you that I can't emphasize how important salicylic acid is if you are a sufferer of breakouts. So I just say to you, just look at the back of the product. You can use benzoyl peroxides. I mean, I do see some results, but let me tell you, salicylic acid is the magic word for acne. And literally everything you touch, if you're not reading salicylic acid in it, it's not going to be as effective because, like I say, it penetrates the pore, kills the bacteria, and it just settles down that inflammation. So if you have got those big blind carbuncles on your face and you start using salicylic acid, those red inflamed spots are going to calm down. And that is with using salicylic acid regularly. And when I discuss cleansers, it's got to be used morning and evening. There's no getting away from that, especially if you have acne. You cannot miss one of your washes. And then if you are going to the gym or sweating excessively during the day, some sports, I advise another cleanse. We don't want that dirt and oil and sweat going back into the pore and causing infection again, which are your pustules or your pimples. So keyword salicylic acid, look for it in any products that you're wanting to clear your skin. Right, we're on to glycolic acids or alpha hydroxy acids. They go under the banner of alpha hydroxy acids. They're a fruit acid, so they encourage, again, cell turnover, or encourage that your skin cells slough off your face at a more regular pace. So again, great for anyone who's reached their 30s and the cell turnover has slowed or gone into a bit of a slump. Glycolic acid will speed up that cell turnover, and it's also used in a lot of skin peels to give you what I call a bridal peel, which is just a very light exfoliation of the skin, taking off the epidermis, and you have that glowier skin underneath. I do just want to caution people of color that glycolic acid can be irritating to the skin. I do not perform glycolic acid skin peels of higher concentration on any darker skin tones, whether that is an Indian skin color or black skin color. I stick to white skins only because of its irritation. It can really inflame and irritate the skin. It feels very much like little ants crawling on the skin, little red ants. In a lower percentage in an anti-aging product, or in more an anti-aging product, it's great to see a bit of glycolic acid. But I would just caution people to also not overuse glycolics, because then you do burn through that barrier function that I've discussed so much. You wear through that barrier function. You strip the lipids that are so important to our skin away, and then you've got a exposed area with no protection. So glycolic acid's great in a very low percentage, mixed into night creams. They'll be known as like a glycolic acid overnight treatment or overnight repair cream. So another key ingredient, I'm not as fond of glycolic acid as I am of salicylic acid. I am definitely a little cheerleader for salicylic acid in the background. But again, another great ingredient to look out for. And you will see it in a lot of the high-end night creams. The next product is a very exciting one, and that is vitamin C, or ascorbic acid. So this ingredient is fantastic for fighting sun damage. It is amazing for fighting sun damage. So what it does is it fights the free radicals that we have in our skin that is from sun damage. And it also is proven to improve your collagen. So I kind of find this, if I have retinol and vitamin C in my products, those are my go-tos. Ascorbic acid is normally how it will be listed in the ingredient list. The serum that I use is also the ordinary, and I think it is a 5% ascorbic acid, something like that. Just to warn you again, if you are new to using vitamin C, I also recommend doing it every third night and building up your tolerance, because some vitamin C's, whether they're buffered or unbuffered, it just depends on the formulation. They can be quite irritating to the skin. So you might put them on and feel a little bit of a zing and a tingle. So then you just know that you can only do it every third night or even once a week, and carry on building up your tolerance. Between retinols and vitamin C, I kind of say the same thing. Start every third night, or I even do a routine of a retinol one night, a vitamin C the next night, and the third night will be very much a break night from actives. So it will probably be something like ceramides, because that's ensuring that my barrier function is not impaired and it's in a good, healthy state. But yes, I can't tell you enough how great vitamin C is for sun damage and for preventing further sun damage. So ascorbic acid is something you should look for in serums and in night creams. It is a fantastic ingredient and definitely one to look out for. Right, we're on to vitamin E, or it is also known as tocopherol. In all of the ingredients lists that I managed to find, it is tocopherol. So if you see tocopherol in your ingredient lists, it means vitamin E, and it's generally in an oil form. So because it's an oil, it is also very good for your skin barrier. It protects your skin and it aids in moisture. But there's a big but here. If you are an acne sufferer, or you suffer from breakouts or an oily T-zone or an oilier skin, stay away from vitamin E or tocopherol. It does tend in higher doses to make you break out. When my clients sit here and they say they don't understand why they're breaking out, they're past the age where they should have acne breakouts, I'll look at their ingredients, and there will very often be vitamin E in a serum form or in their night cream, or some clients are just using pure vitamin E oil on their skin and can't understand why they are breaking out and having severe spots. So if you've got a dry, aged skin that is past the phase of getting pimples or spots, fantastic, use vitamin E. If you are an elderly client and vitamin E oil is your go-to and you get no side effects from it, fantastic, use it. And any drier skins that are not prone to breakouts, look for tocopherol in your ingredient list. And again, if you're looking for body products or moisturizers, tocopherol is a great one for the body. Vitamin E is highly moisturizing. So vitamin E and urea, amazing moisture ingredients, but more for the body. So yeah, like I say, learn your ingredients, read them, and if you've got breakouts, stay away from things with a bit of vitamin E oil. That's my next little tip. Right, next I want to discuss citric acid. Citric acid is found in a lot of ingredients, especially your exfoliators. So it is an alpha hydroxy acid, similar to glycolic acid. So it's an exfoliant and an antioxidant. So fantastic if you are looking for a good exfoliator or an overnight skin peel. You can look for something with citric acid in. It's also very good to balance the skin's pH level. We layer products on, and if our pH is not correct, we will not get penetration of other products. So citric acid works as a balancer in a lot of products, and that will just make sure that your pH level is at an optimum for other product penetration. Right, next I want to cover panthenol. So I was one of the uninformed people. I used to read the ingredient list, and when I got to panthenol, I thought it was a poor ingredient. I thought it was unnecessary, or a filler of some kind and not of any value. And I've done some research on panthenol. It is an amazing humectant. So it also increases your moisture level in your skin, and it aids again in barrier function. So for your very sensitive, irritated skins, ones who suffer from dermatitis, anything that contains panthenol and urea are fantastic. Panthenol, urea, honey, those are all your humectants. And so when you see panthenol, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know if it was just the word that put me off. Sounded like so chemical-like, but it is a humectant, so it's very good for moisture and maintaining your barrier function in your skin. Right, then you're on to another ingredient that you see very often on the back of moisturizers, and that is capric triglyceride. That is a binding agent, so it's very important to be able to join or bind oils with glycerin, so that you actually get from a fluid to a actual moisturizer, a thicker consistency. So it's a binding agent. It literally just you manage to mix water-based things with oils without them separating. And again, the only benefit for the skin will then be that the product is in a thicker formation and not in a watery formation. So just whenever you see that capric triglyceride, you'll know that it's a binding agent. Right, the next ingredient I'm going on to is glycerine. Glycerine again is very good for dry skin. So again, in your body products, you will see glycerine, urea, panthenol. Those are your humectants. They again, firstly, increase the moisture in your skin and keep it in. So it almost forms a barrier and keeps the moisture within your skin, that it doesn't just evaporate and dry out. So glycerine, very good for your night creams. Any lotions, body lotion and face creams, you will see glycerine. Even some serums are glycerine based. So just think of it as putting moisture in and then sealing, literally sealing the skin so that you don't lose water loss. You know, we get this water loss from the skin if there's no barrier to keep it in. So again, a humectant. The humectants are panthenol, honey, glycerine, urea. Those are the great ones for increasing moisture levels in your skin. Right, so that sums up our ingredient glossary breakdown, and I hope that helps in some way. So if you're looking for anti-aging products, I'm going to scream at you and I'm going to say retinol, vitamin C, glycolic acids. If you are suffering from acne, I'm going to be saying salicylic acid. And if you are sensitive, irritated skin, I'm going to be saying things like urea, glycerin, panthenol. And you just need to have those little keywords. This is going to educate you. Turn that box over in the store, have a look at the ingredient list, and just see what the product is promising you, and can it deliver? Are those ingredients aimed at the problem that you have? So anyway, this is Jackie, and that's my heavy lecture for, this is a Saturday morning this side. So I've given you a hectic lecture before I started work, but that's just a simple summary. I mean, there are so many ingredients. I can't possibly go through them all. If in doubt, like I say, Google them, find out a little bit more about the ingredient, and happy shopping. There are some amazing things out there, but just be careful what they promise you, because they promise to deliver the world and they don't. So take everything with a pinch of salt, especially these ones that say better than laser, you know, results in 10 days. It doesn't work that way. The skin doesn't work that way. It's in, you know, years of damage. It doesn't work that you just pop on a cream or a serum and you reverse your damage of 20, 30 years. So anyway, happy shopping. Hopefully you're a little bit more educated, and I will chat to you guys soon.